should we acknowledge that there are a lot of pissed off satellite radio fans? Not for us, because they took Fungus away for an AC/DC channel.
What's Fungus?
Fungus is like they rock.
I gotta be honest.
Why would you take away Fungus to do AC/DC? Can't you put AC/DC on Deep Tracks or somewhere else?
I don't know. I just know they yank our channel off every Saturday, every so often.
That's fine.
Sometimes they just
on the weekends, whatever.
No, sometimes they just cancel the channel, and it just runs with a voice going, like, "Hey, this channel isn't on," because they take the bandwidth and put it somewhere else.
There's probably some guy who doesn't like what we're doing.
Exactly.
Let's just take it off.
Exactly what it is.
So I'm saying fuck AC/DC radio.
I would much rather listen to AC/DC than Fungus, to be honest with you. For those about to rock,
yes,
Bon Scott,
we salute you.
You listen to the Metallica channel?
That's all. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Is it done?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was listening to it the other
Channel
day.
51.
Look,
But
how long could you listen to a Metallica station?
Forever.
Yeah, I don't
Really?
listen like constantly.
Yeah, they got some
They're
old.
kind of on and off.
My favorite was the Zeppelin channel. That one I listened to way too much.
I think Metallica has
way
more
too
material
much.
out than Zeppelin. I'm thinking.
Wow, that's a good question, Jimmy. Probably close.
I think they're around for longer.
Well, Zeppelin put out a lot of albums in their time.
Yes, yes.
Let's go to Anthony in Connecticut. Anthony.
He's right here.
I know. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Hey, listen, the new Metallica album is amazing. I don't know. I mean, the last 5, Saint Anger, Reload, Load, S&M, all that crap that was garbage. This new album I just got the other day, Death Magnetic, it's called. It goes back to 1986, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. It's an awesome album. You got to pick it up if you're a Metallica fan.
Yeah, it's getting good reviews, right?
Yeah.
Danny, you're a Metallica fan except for Lars's drumming. What do you think of it?
Well, I've only heard, I think, 5 of the songs. I didn't get the whole album. I'm still soaking it in. I'm trying to like deconstruct it all. It does sound like they're trying a little too hard and really just putting out stuff that
you
they
actually
feel.
deconstruct. Why don't you just like? Listen?
I can't. It's hard, man. I'm such a big Metallica. It's hard for me to just accept
really like
new stuff.
Metallica?
Yeah. So I hear these songs and I just hear these riffs.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Huh?
Rick Rubin helped them put out a great album.
Yeah, no, I know who Rick
Yeah,
Rubin is.
dick.
I know all about it. But I feel like they just kind of were putting riffs out there that they thought their audience wanted to hear, rather than riffs that they thought were good enough to be on an album.
Yeah, but Kirk Hammett, they interviewed him. He said that he spent like hours and hours and hours on each solo.
No, he didn't. He actually
Yeah,
said
Danny,
in an
what
interview.
about that?
No, how come then in the interview that I heard, he said that Rick told him to take a more live approach to stuff and just do more off the cuff solos.
Oh shit! What do you got for that, Anthony?
They said, yeah.
Yeah, bad.
Sounds like we have a little.
Hey, Danny.
Yes.
Hey, Danny, die of age.
I probably will one day.
Well, that's
I haven't heard the. Did you like the other stuff? Like I like the song they did with Marianne Faithfull.
Yeah, I didn't think that was that bad. I mean, Load was like all right. Reload was there are some songs that are okay. Saint Anger I didn't even purchase because I just couldn't do it. But
What is Saint Anger?
that was their last studio album.
No. But what's it mean?
it's a saint.
I don't know. I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to it. It just sounded terrible, and like the singles that were getting airplay were just so awful. I didn't.
You didn't even try.
No.
Wow.
The mix is so terrible. It sounds. I mean, just the mix alone made me not want to listen to it. It's very difficult to listen to.
Have you met them?
Yes, I've met them at a signing once at Virgin Megastore. They were my all-time heroes, and then and it was a 2-day affair because I had to like go make a pre-purchase. Like I had to get their album, and then they would give me a voucher to come back the next day to see them. And all I could think about for 2 days was, what am I going to talk to Metallica about? And the line got so backed up that I actually got some FaceTime with each guy, and that I just spent staring at them. And at one point, like, you get up to Kirk, and Kirk's like, "So what's up, man?" And I just staring at him, just going, "Nothing."
Oh,
that's all. Awkwardly staring at him, just the whole way down the line. So then now I'm in front of Lars, and he's just like staring at me like he signed my thing already, and he's just like, the line's not moving, so he's just trying to be nice and make conversation. "Hey man, so what's up?" And I'm just like,
nothing. I'm hanging out with Lars.
It's Metallica, and I'm like, "Oh, what's up with you?"
I'm in Metallica.
So you were basically just a lump.
I just froze completely, and I just probably it was an embarrassment to my heroes.
I was when I went to Bonnaroo, because my buddy Adam shoots a lot of their stuff. I was backstage. I was in the Metallica area, and the whole fucking band was like 3 feet from me. They were just taking photos. I wanted a picture with the whole fucking band. So I met them all individually, but I couldn't. I just didn't want to ruin
They
the
seem
vibe.
like really cool people.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons to this day I still can't watch Some Kind of Monster. I won't watch it.
Why?
That's
because
a great documentary.
It's really
I
good.
know, but everybody's telling me like, dude, if you love Metallica, don't watch that. Don't watch it.
That's probably a good point, but it's
I've heard
amazing
enough-
that shit was going on.
I know, but I heard enough stuff about it where I kind of get the vibe of it, and I'm sure if I watch it, I'll have my own opinions. But I can't bring myself to do it.
I heard a Metallica story from a very reliable source that
Oh, I think actually, I think I know which one you're talking
about someone's wife
Yes.
getting involved to the point where they can't tour every day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But the wife is rich because of what he's done.
Yeah, what he's
God.
done and what he's doing.
If
And
this doesn't piss off Anthony, this is the type of thing Anthony talks about all the time.
I saw that. I saw it.
What?
That whole thing where he's got a
Who got divorced recently, Lars?
yeah, and he's got to go back with the kids or something.
He's got to go back to spend his time with the kids, and the wife won't let him off the hook. So
it's like, excuse me, I'm in Metallica.
Yeah, so the band does some weird.
I think I'm touring.
I don't know the exact details, but they're doing some kind of weird 2 days on, 3 days off, 2 days on, so he could go back and fill his obligation. And it comes down to the wife just being a yes, exactly.
I mean, look, Metallica said they sell a lot of albums, but I'm guaranteed they generate way more income from their touring than they would, making studio albums. So, like, if she knew what she was doing, she let them tour for a year straight. The kind of money that tour would generate by never stopping.
It's all about fucking them.
Just about being a pain in the ass, and how can
That's all it's about. She don't give a
How can I
shit.
inconvenience you more?
That's exactly what's going on with that.
She sounds like she's being a real pain in the fanny.
Yeah.
Language.
Hey, we got a Metallica impression. Who do we got? Derek? Derek does a Metallica impression?
A Metallica?
What?
A Metallica impression?
And he's yelling he's busy?
I don't know what's going on.
Omelet sucks.
The hell was that? What's the matter, Jimmy?
No, my omelet's not yummy.
It doesn't smell like it normally does.
Ew, look at that.
Maybe it's a bit off.
I said, Kenny, get me the Planned Parenthood.
That really does look bad.
He gave it to you.
That's fucking dumpster stuffer.
Where's Derek doing his Metallica impression?
Oh, I think that was the rest of the guys trying to throw him under the bus. Apparently, he does a terrible Kirk Hammett impression that he doesn't want to do.
A Kirk Hammett
I want to hear
impression?
it. He should do it. There's no. Of course he should do it. Where is he? Get him in here.
Let's go to Joe on Long Island. Joe,
If the album's garbage, I wouldn't piss on it to put out a fire.
you hear that, Danny? The new album's garbage.
Yeah, but sir, the fire will burn other things.
Yes.
Hey, the day
Best
that
piss
never
on
ends.
it.
Yeah.
The day that never comes is a song that never ends.
It does. You know what? It would be a good song if they kept it at about 4.5 minutes and took all the bullshit out of it. It sounded like they were trying to put six completely different songs into one.
Oh.
What the fuck are they
Like
supposed
Foundry.
It's like every idea they had, they couldn't throw away. They said, "Oh, well, this is hard. I bet this is what hard music sounds like now. Let's just put it in the fucking song."
Are you
Get out of
suggesting
my way.
Are you suggesting they're out of touch with today's sound there, Danny?
Well, a little bit. I think they're like they got so much backlash over. Oh, they don't sound like what they used to sound like, and so instead of kind of like progressing with the natural course that they would take, they just tried to pretend it was 1988 again, which it's not. And they're trying to like recreate something that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, boy.
Also, a lot of these older bands, they should record their albums in a studio together. I hear they do work parts now.
Yeah, they email the parts to each other.
They email parts around the country, and they get the albums done that way. You got to go old school, man.
There's definitely a vibe when it's everybody playing in the same room. It's hard to kind of get that soul and energy into your music, I guess, when you're across the country.
All right, Derek, where's this Metallica impression?
I don't do one. I was just making fun of his voice, and they decided to throw me under the bus.
Well, let's hear what you got.
No. I don't do one.
Well, how are you making my voice?
Nothing. I was just saying he talked like a bitch, but he's a great guitar player. He just really has this really wimpy voice. That's all there is.
How is it?
So, Kirk, how did you work on your solos for the new album, Death Magnetic?
I'm not doing it. I don't do it.
E-Rock, does he do it? What? Come in here.
No.
E-Rock, everyone. You can applaud when you see him.
That's right.
We'll let you today.
Here comes Fatty.
Derek totally does the impression. He was telling me that Danny should be doing it while he was in here. And then he gave us a sample of it.
What was it, Travis?
Yeah, what did it sound like?
He was like, "Hey guys, I'm just in Metallica." But I think Derek should do
All right,
it.
Travis, now do your Kirk impression.
Derek?
No, I
Oh, we totally heard it. Very good.
Jimmy, do you want to hear it?
More than I want to finish this cunt omelet.
why the fuck? Don't you guys have something else to do?
Not
I got
really.
shit I gotta do.
Yes, an impression.
Yeah.
Shit impression.
How'd it go? Don't be shy.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, hey guys, it's Kurt.
Kirk.
Kirk.
Did I say Kurt? Or
I don't know.
What the
The
fuck?
K at the end. Kirk.
Did I?
Yes,
Kurt.
Kirk.
Whatever.
All right.
Captain
Fantastic
James
impression.
Teaker.
Sorry.
Impressions are always good when you have to start them by saying who you're doing.
Who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Derek, an attention whore, loves being on the air.
Sure does.
Exactly.
Can't get enough of it.
Get back to work, social study teacher shirt.
Mike Hogg.
So people love it. People hate it. It's good,
I'll
but
give it
it's
a
not
shot.
great.
I'll buy it. It's just,
They're all over the place.
From what I've heard, it's those are my first impressions. But it could grow on me. I hated Load when it first
First
came out.
impressions? What? You do impressions?
Oh,
Yeah, I do a good Kirk Hammett.
Can't wait to hear it.
Well, this album, I wanted to just go a little more, like off the cuff with my...
Oh, he's doing impressions.
All right,
Let me leave.
Somebody had.
would you do that if Kirk was here?
No, never.
No, he'd go, nothing.
Would you be polite to Metallica?
No.
Of course. I would be extremely polite and respectful. I mean, I love them to death, but it's hard to critique your favorite band while they're sitting in front of you.
Sure sounds like you love them.
I do. That's
You don't
why
even have the new album yet.
That's why, yeah, but
and you
that's-
didn't buy the last 2 or 3. That's great.
No, I did. I didn't buy that.
That's
I didn't
love
buy
for
the,
a
no,
band
no.
right there.
I didn't buy the last one album. And to be fair, I bought everything that was available on iTunes before the release date. Like, they put out like 5 songs, and I did purchase them.
Can I tell you how good they were at Bonnaroo? They were fucking awesome.
They're the
man.
best live band I've ever seen.
They were amazing.
Hands down.
Right to children.
Dude, I love them.
Yeah, but they put on a really good, not only is it a good show, everybody plays fantastically, and they'll give you 2.5 hours.
I've seen
of a great
Metallica.
show. But I'm just saying, consistently.
Yeah.
This is going to be popular.
I liked Air Supply better. The
I saw Godsmack and Metallica. I heard, yeah. I saw Godsmack and Metallica. I got to tell you, man, Godsmack blew them off that Nassau Coliseum.
I was
stage.
at that show. It was a pretty good show.
Godsmack was way better live than Metallica that night.
I don't know.
James Hetfield didn't seem like he was. He seemed like he wasn't even into it. Godsmack, Sully destroyed.
That's
James
actually what
Hetfield as the doing the lead singing thing.
Those shows at Nassau, that's what got me into Godsmack. Like, I wasn't really into them until I saw those shows. I was like, whoa, Godsmack's actually not that bad.
They really love.
That was a great show,
man. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Godsmack lately. What's going on?
Don't know. I saw Sully briefly when I was in Vegas. But I didn't say hello to him because he was across. It was in the arena. He was with Chris Angel.
What is Godsmack doing? Are they working on anything?
They're taking a year off.
Oh boy,
relaxing. Well, Sully's got a kid. I think he probably wants to. Sometimes you want to take time for your kid. They're not going anywhere.
Godsmack did a pretty good version of Good Times, Bad Times, which was kind of ballsy. They put out a greatest hits
Yeah, it was
CD.
the first track on the greatest hits album.
And they redid. You want to play that today? As we go to break, what the hell? You got it?
I want to see Metallica when they come around.
Me too. I think I fucked up though because the tickets have been on sale and I kind of forgot about it and it looks like.
What's that got to do with anything? Oh, you actually got to pay for them?
We know.
Well, what am I going to do? Leave it up to them to give me?
Oh, I don't. I'll just talk to my agent.
We know people.
Oh, then okay.
No, we
please.
know people that we can get that one done. That's easy, Danny.
Yeah, because I have the same agent they do. So.
Do you?
Oh.
Really? Ooh, Jimmy.
Well, then someone's going to be hanging out with the new best friend James Norton.
Oh,
Yeah, Dennis walked me right back when Metallica was around.
out the back door.
Yes, he said leave.
Please leave.
Fucking little flunky.
Don't annoy this band anymore.
He brought me right back. He annoyed Motley Crue to get me pictures with them. They handle everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he annoyed everyone. Dennis rules.
Well, we'll try this. People might not like it because it's tough to cover Zeppelin, but I think it's kind of cool. Sully and Godsmack doing Good Times, Bad Times. We'll be back.
It's a Zeppelin song. I'm in love with the new. I saw Metallica this Saturday. Danny saw them Sunday. And they were great. What's the fucking first song off the new album? I love it.
Well, they played a bunch of stuff off the new album.
I think they opened with this song. It was something about. I don't know the name of it. It's fucking great.
Oh, the one where they roam?
The only singles I know off the new album is The Day That Never Comes, Cyanide, and Then You Lose Me.
My goal, because I have pictures with James, Kirk, Lars, and Robert, was to get them signed.
Yeah.
And my buddy Steve is Lars' assistant, so
yes,
he. I got backstage and I had the photos, and I actually got Robert, Kirk, and Lars to sign. James snuck out.
Bastard.
I made such a fucking fool out of myself.
Again?
Dude.
Yet again.
Dude. I was with Florentine. He doesn't mind waiting around. But nobody knows me. Nobody fucking that I like knows me. And none of them do. And I fucking... The way it was sectioned off is I was with Steve Wigg, which is... He's Lars's guy, so me and Jim were with Lars's guests. Like, they kind of have you waiting right outside the dressing room area because he was with his family and stuff. And then you got Robert's people, and then you have Kirk's people. So Kirk's bodyguard was keeping Kirk's people separate. You know, this way, the guys that are supposed to see Kirk Hammett see Kirk Hammett. So me and Jim didn't know, so well, Steve walks us over. You know, he gets Kirk to sign because he's Steve, he can do that. And we're talking to Kirk, and... we're just talking about being older, and Jim's like, he's 40, meaning me. Like, I'm standing here with a picture. And I'm like, I know, I'm 40. And then I'm like, can I take a picture with Jim? He's 45, and he wants a photo with you. And Kirk's like, well, I'm 46. And I'm like, yeah, man, but you're James and Lars's base mate. You're James.
God. You didn't say that.
Yes, I did.
You're too cool to say
The hair's standing up on my arms
There's
again.
no way you would say that, Jimmy. You're too cool for that stuff.
Panicked.
Why do you panic?
I meant to say you're Kirk Hammett, you're Metallica, but I started to say you're James, and then I had to cover it.
Oh, you had to cover it because you almost called him James Hetfield.
James and Lars's bassist started flying out of my mouth, and I tried to say bandmate. I tripped and smashed my fucking teeth in the concrete.
Where's that panic come from?
I don't know.
We all panic.
I don't know.
I'm not any better than you.
That's a good one,
but
though.
I do see that you panic a little more than
I fucking unraveled.
the average famous person meeting famous people.
I unraveled because he was engaging.
Right.
He was willing to chat for a moment. He was like...
But what's that about? You don't feel worthy or something?
I'm not. He doesn't know me.
I'm not?
Dude.
You're worthy for a conversation with a human being.
You're James and Lars's base mate. Instead of bandmate, I am a fucking cunt.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
It's horrible.
He knew something was amiss.
Because I immediately knew... I just don't think. My mouth opens and words come out of it.
Yeah.
My mouth is like an asshole spilling alphabet soup.
You know the thing, it's that, you know that bit Regan does or used to do or whatever, where it's like, you say things like that, take luck. You have good luck in your head. Or that other one where you wave to somebody, or somebody's waving to somebody behind you, and you don't realize it's not you, and you wave back. I noticed something that doesn't happen as much anymore, and I don't know why. It hasn't happened to me. I'm just throwing this out there. Does it happen to? Is it just not happening as much? And I'm trying to figure out why. The sidewalk standoff, where you walk up to somebody, you're head to head now, and you go around the right, and they go the same direction, and you're standing in front of each other for a little bit doing that, and then you walk around. Dude, I haven't been engaged in one of those in so long, and I'm trying to realize is there a societal thing that is happening that's keeping that from happening?
I think it's because we all know we're supposed to pass on the right.
Is that it? We finally figured it out?
No, because...
Have your port and starboard lights on?
I'm going to go local. I was in a coffee shop in Greenlawn, and I had exactly what you're talking about, one of those face-offs as I was going into the coffee shop. And I was trying to pass the guy on the left, and he refused to move. And I'm like, what the I pretty much gave him the what the fuck look. Like, what's wrong with you? And he knew that I gave him the what the fuck look, so he said, it's America, we pass on the right.
Not as pedestrians. You do whatever you want.
That's what the guy told me.
I usually
got a fist fight over.
Or I used to, when it happened, I would just stop. I would just stop and go like, man, whatever, whichever
I don't know
way
what
you're
that's
going.
about. I don't really have an answer for you on that
I know. I was trying to figure it out. It's a mystery. It just hasn't happened. It's one of those little things that you take away with you, you know? Like,
right.
It hasn't happened in a while. Wonder if it's our...
Well, maybe we'll get the answer today. Marcel from Rhode Island might be worth looking into. He goes, I mean, the listeners hate everything we try, so I don't know if this is good or bad. He writes, hey, am I the only one that gets douche chills when Sam and E-Rock do your awkward transition? They talk like two holes setting up your bit.
All right.
Do we have any examples of that? I heard that. I heard that they're working.
Incredibly good or incredibly bad, it's fine by me.
Yeah.
mediocrity would be bad.
The little
something that the guy wouldn't write about.
Right.
Now that would be bad.
But the little chatter I'm getting about that, people are like, yeah, it sounds kind of cool. They're setting up the bits a little better, so they don't just come out of nowhere and like, what the fuck is this? I don't get it because there's no reference point. So we decided that Sam and E-Rock could maybe help with these bits by setting them up.
Now, if they're trying to make resume stuffers out of these little things, then there's a problem.
E-Rock, we got an example of one of those? All right, could you explain this? What are you setting up here?
This one is going into the bit about Sam's dad's mustache.
By the way, are you on the air when you talk, or is it just a voice in my head? Because I don't want to look more stupid than I already...
No, this is on the air.
All right, so this is on the air. You talking?
Yeah.
Because sometimes these guys talk to us, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, and then you sound like a lunatic because you're answering voices in your head.
Yes.
But the voices are really there in this case.
As opposed to when you're just home on your couch.
Right. All right, so you're setting up Sam's father's horrendous handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Opie and Anthony. Hey, what's up? It's Sam.
And it's E-Rock. Hey, Sam, tell us about your dad.
Well, he's got a very unique facial hairstyle as well as sleepwear. But this bit we're about to play was one that I had to apologize to my dad for.
Listen to this now. Is this true? Does Sam...
It's whatever.
I'll tell you where I hate it.
Can we?
I know you hated that music.
I'm Sam. It's Sam. It's E-Rock. Hi, it's just too radio-ish. It's Sam. It's E-Rock.
E-Rock's the problem again, right? E-Rock is definitely the problem again.
Whole things are
E-Rock a little too more
cluster shit.
A little too morning zoo-ish, E.
Little zooey.
Little zooey. Be yourself.
Well, or somebody interesting.
Yeah, don't tell him to be himself.
And we had the answer to the Metallica tune, but that guy couldn't stick around, so now we don't have the answer again.
Dude, I fucking can't believe how badly I fucked that up. It was real. It was like, all right, it was fucking humiliating. So what am I doing?
That Metallica song, by the way, is called That Was Just Your Life.
That Was Just Your Life, yep. I think they open with that, right?
Is it a cool song?
Yeah. Yes.
They spent so much time playing new stuff.
They did do a lot of new shit.
And, I mean, I'm not going to complain. It was a great show. But, like, I think they played probably 3 old songs in the first hour. They played about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And, I mean, I enjoyed the last, like, 40 minutes way more than the first.
Yeah.
You don't like the newer stuff?
They just do that to sell out.
You just got to get used to it.
What do you mean by older stuff?
You know, like they played...
Because some of these Metallica fans... I'm a Metallica fan, but I don't go as deep as Danny. So what do you mean by, like, newer stuff? Are you one of those guys, Wherever I May Roam is one of the newer songs?
No, I mean, they played, like, Harvester of Sorrow, which is nice. I mean, they, you know, the big encore was Seek and Destroy, which was nice. But they spend so much time playing just the new stuff. And it's not like it's bad. It's good stuff. But I kind of feel like it's not something that they wanted to write. I feel like they were coming off... They were coming off Saint Anger. They said, shit, we really made asses of ourselves in front of all of our fans.
Complete asses.
Now we have to write a hard album, but I really don't think that this album, that Death Magnetic, I don't think that was in their heart. I think they wrote it because the fans were kind of expecting something hard, so they said, here you go. But I really don't think this is an album that they wanted to write.
I love this, man.
You get all that from just listening to their new stuff?
Yeah, just the way the riffs are, and just the flow. I feel like there's no like soul in these songs. There's no flow to it. It just sounds like they wrote a whole bunch of riffs and just shook them up randomly and said, here's songs.
You know what, though?
And let's make them all 7 minutes long so that people can say...
Yeah, but the problem is they're not really...
I'm not saying it's not hard,
Listen
Jim.
to this beat, though. This is great.
It is great. If someone said, hey, did you hear that new single by this new band called, Mega Raptor? I'd be like, yeah, that's some pretty good shit. But then if you say, hey, that's Metallica, I'd be like, yeah.
Wait, turn this up.
Turn this up. This is great.
Turn this up.
They're trying so hard. When has Lars ever played drums like that?
This is great.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
They're adding like intricacies and technicalities just for its own sake. Like, it's not like that's what they were feeling in the studio, saying, oh, you know what, we should just stop. It's completely calculated. It's completely scripted.
All right, Danny, let me jump in. Paul in Delaware. Danny is dead on. They really are trying way too hard. A lot of people saying you're dead on with your observation.
And you know how you can really tell too? And they, towards the beginning of the concert, James had asked how many people in the crowd were, first-time Metallica at a first-time Metallica show, and a good half of the place was like, woo! And I couldn't believe how many new said that.
Fucked up.
But at the same
They've been
time,
doing this for 20. How many years?
29, 82 figure.
Yeah.
So
26.
Yeah. So they're playing the new songs. You look around, and everybody's just kind of sitting there, and they're kind of bobbing their head a little bit. But when they play, the catalog that you expect Metallica to start playing, that's when everybody starts going nuts. And it's the new fans too.
When did they play one?
Actually, it was actually kind of early on. It was the first hour.
All right, that's all
first
right.
hour.
See, the thing is, though, then they can't win, though, because they say Anger was not great. They put out a couple that were questionable, but then then it's like if they get too heavy, because I actually felt this. I'm like, this is finally like the Metallica that I fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't hate the newer shit, but it's like
they're one of those bands that they're not going to win.
Yeah.
People are going to be either.
Because they got criticized for Enter Sandman. They got killed for it. It was too commercial. They've been getting killed
the
since
whole
fucking
album.
Yeah.
Fucking album rules.
It's amazing.
It's a great album.
They got killed for nothing.
Every song in that album.
Nothing else matters. You got killed for. It's like they can't win. They're in a position where everything you have to ride the lightning. People want to fucking cut their throats for.
Well, I mean, they took a lot of shit for Load and Reload, and while I don't find Reload to be such a phenomenal album, I think a lot of most of the tracks on Load are really, it's good stuff. It's not like the hard stuff that it's not going to be, it's not Ride the Lightning, but it's like a real gritty bluesy rock mix. It's good. But the Saint Anger thing, I just couldn't deal with.
For a band this age, like, Kirk's 46, to put out a fucking album this fucking heavy, and then they give the 2-hour show they do, it's like fucking...
They're incredible performers.
They really are.
Great.
Hetfield's a savage.
Yep.
And the music, too, like, the track, I mean, it's not bad, but it sounds like it's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
And
It's like 3 songs mashed together.
That's exactly how I felt about the new Metallica stuff. Like, it wasn't bad stuff. It was heavy as shit, but it just sounded like they wrote a whole bunch of heavy riffs and threw them together and was like, oh, here, this is new Metallica.
Well, I know they can't sound like it's like, here, we're going to sound just like it's 1994 again. And
it's how they make music nowadays, too, where everyone does their work parts and then they try to patch it together in a studio.
Like everybody's trying so hard to, like, recapture, like, their their grand years or whatever. It's just, move on.
I disagree on the Metallica, and I'll tell you why. Because it's like, if they put out something that's exactly like they used to, people go, they haven't changed at all. Or if they get really soft, people go, man, like a couple of their albums, people go, it's like, it's almost like a no-win. And they put out an album that's actually genuinely heavy. I've really listened to it.
But I don't think the actual music, like, it's genuinely heavy, but the music itself isn't genuine. And I think that you can kind of see that in the fact that, like, we're lacking singles here. It's like, well, they had that one single, and what happened? It dropped off the face of the planet. That's exactly pretty much the same thing that happened with Saint Anger, which I don't feel was genuine Metallica music.
I think I'm officially out with Metallica.
I love the new Metallica.
I couldn't even name...
At least it was softer, but it was genuine.
No, I was a big Metallica fan, but I'm not going to lie. I started with the Black Album. I'm not going to try to be a cool Metallica guy, but the Black Album turned me on to Metallica, and then I went back and listened to some of the older stuff, and I fucking love it. But now, the new album, as I sit here and I brag that I'm kind of a music guy, as far as, like, mainstream music goes, I understand when I talk music, people go, oh, fuck, he doesn't know shit because I don't know all the underground crap and all that. Whatever. But with the Metallica album, as I sit here, I couldn't even name one song off the album. That's how, and I used to pay attention.
I'm big time, huge time Metallica, and like I heard the new album was coming out, I was kind of excited, and then like when the single dropped, it was just like, oh, okay. And then James is screaming, "Love is a 4-letter word," and I'm like,
Danny, just
are you serious?
Yeah.
Oof.
And I'm just like, I think I'm out of this one.
Who said they couldn't
running too
Oh,
rampant.
Danny, who's a big Metallica fan, said you couldn't watch Some Kind of Wonderful, right? You were saying that
Some
the other
Kind of
day?
Monster?
Some Kind of Monster.
Kind of Wonderful.
Grand Funk Railroad, I'm thinking. Always thinking music. Shit. Some Kind of Monster, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it came out and people started talking about
It's
it.
called Precious.
And I just heard all the embarrassing stories, and like I just
It's amazing.
Who wants to watch an embarrassing documentary about your favorite band? And like, I just don't want to do it.
Well,
I'd rather think about them the way I think about them in high school, and just leave it like that.
It explains a lot. It explains their music. It explains a lot.
Danny, why do you feel that you don't want to see that? I think therapy would help you. I really think therapy would help you.
Because I don't want to be disappointed in my adolescent idols.
Would you be starstruck if the band was in here?
Oh yeah, I mean they're maybe not now, I guess. I'm so jaded,
Danny,
but
we end up being disappointed in our favorite band, no matter what band.
Yeah, but I'm trying to not go that way. I want to.
I mean, I was a huge U2 fan. I'm not too happy with what they're doing lately.
Yeah, I mean,
at the end of Zeppelin's run, I wasn't too happy. That one album, what, Coda? I hated that.
The last two Metallica efforts haven't really.
Name one band that you're happy with all the way to the end. They all just disappoint you. They really do. Stones? Rolling Stones fans are really happy with what they've been doing the last 10 years.
So you feel let down by things that earlier in your life
deflect.
made you feel good.
I did this too.
I understand
many
that.
years.
I understand
Make
that.
sure it's not about me. Deflect. Talk about others and their problems.
Ozzy doesn't disappoint me.
Ozzy?
I just don't change my expectations.
For real?
Are you kidding me? Not at all. I like him more now than I ever did.
Well, that's
because my expectations of him aren't just like it all depends on what you expect a band or a fucking.
But you don't want to
performer
lower
do.
your expectations when it comes to your
No,
band.
not to lower them. Like I like this shit. I like the imperfections. I like that stuff. I like the fuck ups. I like a lot. Yeah, there's songs I haven't liked, sure, but I like that
Ozzy's a good example of someone that maybe hasn't let down as many fans as other bands have.
He's brutally honest. I love that.
That's a short list of bands that are in Ozzy's category.
And Metallica
has definitely let down a lot of their fans.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Megadeth isn't bad. They kind of made it to the end. I mean, it's not like they're as huge as they used to be, but they held up pretty good. They had a few releases where it was like, but for the most part, they've done pretty well.
I'm out with Megadeth talk. I never really got into
No,
it.
they're good. And I mean, it's a shame that obviously Dimebag Darrell was shot and killed, but Pantera really never let their fans down. I mean, they were just as hard as they ever were with their last album. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
I think Metallica stayed pretty heavy considering the level of success they achieved, like how they're fucking they're kind of mainstream, and they're still pretty fucking heavy after 27 years or whatever it is.
Tool, let's go, Chris C. in Virginia. Right on with that Tool shit. That is a whacked out band.
Tool.
That isn't going to get a therapist anytime soon. Metallica, you realize they turned into a business. They were doing their parts individually, and it was. You got to see that movie.
It's really interesting, man. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Then the therapist, it turns out the therapist in that damn movie needed more therapy than the band. He was all depressed when they wanted to fire him and say, look, we don't need you anymore. And he got all sad.
There was for Metallica fan club members only. They released right before Load had come out. They released some studio session stuff where it was just them. It was like an hour's worth of them just fucking around in the studio, just like completely not listening to Bob Rock or and just fucking around having a good time. And I would much rather think of that band like that, having a good time and fucking around, being genuine friends, just completely putting what they were supposed to do to the side just to have fun.
Yeah.
Than to watch that fucking movie where they're all fighting with each other. And,
but you know what? It took a lot of balls for them to take on that project and put it out there for the fans. Because when they saw the final product, I can't imagine they're sitting around going, well, this is going to make us look good. No way. And they didn't need the money. So it took balls for them to even release it.
And the fact is they're still together. Like, even though it's still cheesy, they need a therapist. Most bands, the Stones, there's a few that make it, but most bands break up. Most bands split, and these guys have, with the exception of the bassist, the core of that band has really stayed together, and they're fucking heavy, and they went through changes, and fucking married with kids for being young guys, fucking 3 chicks at a time.
Right.
It's pretty amazing they're still together.